Okay, great. Yeah, and thank you for being here. I'm excited to be here. I didn't really know the format. This is my first media day here at CU. So really excited to be here. We've had a couple great weeks of practice. When people ask me how things are going, my first response is it's moving slowly, but in the right direction. And the hard thing about being a new coach is every single player on your team becomes a freshman again. You know, every drill that we do is brand new. Every set that we're putting in is brand new. So that's why I say it's moving slowly, you know, because it truly is like having 13 freshmen on your team. But we're working extremely hard. Our team, I think, is buying into what we're trying to do, and we are moving in the right direction. So excited that we still have a couple more weeks of practice, and then excited to get going for real in a few weeks.
So. Coach, when you look at your team, what's the scoring point you come from? You lost Jamie Swan.
Yeah, Jamie's a big loss. I think she did a lot more than people gave her credit for, just in opening things up, because she was so strong inside, opening things up for the perimeter. But the bulk of our scoring, I would expect, would come from our perimeter. The strength of our team is on the perimeter this year, and in returning Kennedy, Alexis, and Haley, that all scored pretty well last year for us.
Tab was in here talking about how he thinks he needs to be harder on his guys because he thinks maybe they think they're better than they are.
Yeah.
You coming in saying it's moving slowly,
yeah.
You know, it's frustrating because everyone's a freshman again.
Yeah.
It's frustrating for everybody. So what's your approach? Can you not be as hard on them as you want, knowing that there's a lot of frustration right now just because it's new?
Yeah, I don't know who's talked about frustration. I'm not frustrated. Having 13 freshmen, having everybody new is not necessarily a bad thing. I mean, our team, it comes to practice, excited to practice. Everything is new. You know, when you're in the same system for 3-4 years, sometimes it kind of gets a little monotonous and old. So I'm not frustrated. I don't think our team is. But no, I mean, we're always hard on our players. I mean, we love them up, and if you were in our practices, you would feel that there's a positive energy, and we're always, you know, encouraging and lots of talk and things like that. But we're always very much disciplinarians in our team. So we do drills where if it's not perfect, it goes back to zero. You know, things like that. Just jump stopping. We're very much about the fundamentals of the game. So we're always pretty hard on our team as far as discipline and doing things the right way. So good or bad. I mean, if we were picked first or picked last, I think we would coach them up the same. Yeah.
What style of basketball will fans associate with Coach Payne?
Well, I very much like to make things work for the team that you have, you know, and when we inherited the team that we have, which is a little more guard heavy, you know, than teams that we've had in the past, but we're going to try to play as up tempo as we can this year. I think the strength of our team, I already said, is in our backcourt, and so being able to transition, get early opportunities in transition will be really important for this group. So for right now, it's going to be very aggressive and very high up tempo. Yeah.
Coach, even before the season, you talked about Haley Smith and how she is going to have to do a little bit of everything for this team.
Definitely.
Had her in practice for a few weeks. How do you see her role kind of evolving, both contributions on the court and as a veteran leader?
Yeah, she is a great leader. I tell everybody, I wish I had 10 Haley Smiths on our team. For one, she's our kind of player, and that she's very versatile. She can do a variety of different things. So I love that about her basketball. She's also a kid that goes 100% effort in absolutely everything she does, which also fits our MO of just playing really tough and playing hard. But yeah, Haley's going to play basically 2 through 5 this year. We had a scrimmage, sort of an inter-squad scrimmage last week. She led us in rebounding, led us in scoring, led us in steals. I mean, she's the player that is going to have to do everything for us, and we're asking her to be more vocal. For those of you that know her, she's maybe the nicest kid in the world, so she's a little bit quiet at times, but we're asking her to be a lot more vocal and outspoken and hold her teammates accountable as well. But she's an absolute rock for this team.
Coach, last year the team shot a collective 391 from the floor. Just in your first year with the program, what is the key to knocking down more of those shots? Is it more of a discipline issue, taking better shots, ball movement?
A little bit of everything that you said. I think a lot of what we're really focusing on as a program right now with each of our individual players and team is details. So we're working on footwork. We're working on the basics of pass, catch, hands and feet ready. We got to be able to hit people in their shooting pockets. You know, if we can't pass effectively and we get Kennedy Leonard coming wide open off a screen, but we pass it to her out here, or, you know, so it really is just the basics for us. And I think if we can conquer that, we'll be able to take care of the ball better than we have and be able to get high percentage shots.
Lauren's one of the leaders on your team. She had a really rough year last year. How have you seen her rebound so far?
Lauren is really kind of the life and livelihood of this group in some regards. Lauren has been injured for a little bit, so she hasn't practiced as much as we would have liked, but she's getting closer and closer to being back to full strength. But But Lauren's obviously a great shooter and has been her entire career. We're going to ask her to do a little bit more this year than that. She's old enough and she's pretty savvy to understand the game and be able to open things up for other people. But she, personality-wise and energy-wise, kind of carries our energy some days.
Coach, as coaching coach, do you just coach basketball, or is there a learning curve as you go up the ladder and move into a Power 5 conference?
Well, I don't know. I really feel like basketball's basketball. I've coached at really, a lot smaller schools and smaller conferences, and we've beaten big schools at big conferences. And really for us, it's more about how, in our programs, how you play the game. And like I said earlier, we are not dead set on one thing or another. We will evolve and do different things based on our personnel. But for us, we talk so much about three things: being the toughest team in the country, being the hardest working team in the country, and being very disciplined in everything we do. And those three things are non-negotiables for us. And we do that. If we were at, a little high school somewhere and, other side of the country, or a big school, big great school in the Pac-12, we would be the same team. And that's what I think you'll see from this program. Mm-hmm.
Coach, you talked about the players that you have returning, but what about for the true freshmen that you have coming in? How have they adjusted? You've got a couple of talented players.
Yes, we have two fabulous freshmen. One of them, let's talk about Quinessa first. Quinessa Kalo-Doe is from Tacoma, Washington. And we actually recruited her at Santa Clara. So we've known Quinessa, even before we got here, which was kind of a cool, sort of coming back together for Q and us. But Q's great. She's aggressive. She's going to play probably 1 and 2. She's a little bit versatile in that she can shoot the ball. She's a great penetrator. She loves to defend, which we love because she's kind of got that gritty, tenacious attitude on the floor. So Q's been great. Eleanor is our 6'4" freshman from Scotland. She's maybe the most athletic player I've ever coached. She's been injured, so she's been out most of this fall. And just yesterday, actually, was kind of easing back into practice. But again, extremely athletic. I mean, she lays the ball up at the rim. She can dunk. She can run. She might be one of our top 2 or 3 fastest players on the team. So she's one that will be very exciting to watch in the future. We just have to get her healthy. Yeah.
Coaches always talk about the altitude here. How do you view the altitude first time kind of coaching and 52?
Yeah, I love it. Yes, it's a huge advantage. And when I coached at Southern Utah, we were about 300 feet higher, but we had the same advantage. So for a team like us that likes to play up tempo, it's awesome. And once, as years go on and time goes on and we get deeper and deeper, it'll become even a bigger factor when we can continue to push and transition for 40 minutes. But it's a huge factor. And for people that say it's not, they're lying. Because I have also coached at sea level and had to play at altitude. And it's always a mind game. Do you talk about it? Do you not talk about it? But for us, it's going to be a huge advantage. Yeah.
Any more questions?
Oh, got one more.
Okay.
Coach, Kennedy Leonard had a very successful high school career in Southlake. And
Yeah.
coming in as a freshman to a program that wins 7 games and is a bit on the rebuilding track.
Sure.
Can you just, what would you say about a player like that being that competitive and kind of having to be patient and step
Yeah.
out of the comfort zone and experience some lack of
Adversity,
success?
sure. Yeah, Kennedy, I think, has grown a lot as far as what she says. I've only known her for 6 months, but she talks about the growth that she's had and the challenges in coming to a program and not winning as much as she'd like to. But she's a fantastic player. She's a fantastic kid. She loves the game of basketball, so she's constantly working. She's constantly in the gym trying to get better. But I think, sometimes adversity, they say, makes you stronger, and I believe in Kennedy's case it has. And I know she wants to lead this team. She came here knowing what it was. She came here because she wanted to leave her mark on a program. So she chose this knowing that she could have a real big imprint on the future of this program, and I think she's going to do that.
What do you expect from Alexis this year?
Alexis is great. But yeah, she also had a great freshman season, and we expect her to be the athlete that she is. I mean, I always tell her, she's got the fastest feet on the team. She's quicker than everybody. She should be able to really kind of exert her will offensively and defensively. We're going to ask her to do more of that. She's a kid that loves offense, but we need to be able to use her athleticism on the defensive end as well as the rebounding end. But she's going to have a very good year this year.
Any more questions? All right, thanks, Coach.
All right, thanks, guys.
players will be available